Huh? What? Huh? What are you talking about? I don't get it.
What do you?
Well, it's about manifesting, success, and then all of a sudden we're talking about the future. That was odd.
Well, here's the thing. Does everyone at the table agree there's no chance he's retiring?
Yeah.
Yes.
We've talked about that before. So what's he talking about?
I don't know.
So I have not been able to reconcile all for the last month, and I know you guys have thought it's silly, but I'm adamant in it, why the Packers seemingly didn't even consider wanting to get a better look at Jordan Love.
Oh, my God.
Wait a second.
Because they're about to be in the playoffs.
They're get in the playoffs.
Okay, I don't. First of all, I don't know if they are.
Easy answer for that one.
Second of all,
and they're paying the other dude
set that
$50
aside.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry, we interrupted your take.
I don't know why people think
This
LeBron
happens
James is a good basketball player. No, I mean, really, is that obvious?
No,
He never gets interrupted on Nick and Shannon.
Wow. I mean, God dog it. His crank
Go ahead.
anchor's
Sorry.
on
Start
next.
again.
Right in.
Start again.
Okay.
Start again. You had a theory.
No, it wasn't.
We're buying it.
It seemed
Okay,
like
we'll listen. I'm sorry.
it was irrational. And then the word out of Green Bay is it's because they don't need to see Jordan Love. They're picking up his option no matter what. But that also seemed irrational because that option is for more than $20 million. And while that won't go into effect next year, it would go into effect the year after. And you have Rodgers under contract then. So it's like, wait, you're picking up that option and then going to trade Jordan Love, but nobody's seen him play. And someone, I brought this point up to, someone far more respectful than you three jokers, Mark Schlereth, and he said he believes it's because the Packers, he wasn't reporting this, it's just his intuition, the Packers have decided this is Aaron's last run, that we are trading Aaron after this year. And then I was talking with our dear friend Colin Cowherd. Again, that would be a good show, Nick and Colin. Maybe we can work with that since you guys just laugh at my theories. But he said he thinks your guy, Mike Vrabel, might try to make a run at Aaron Rodgers. And I'll tell you this much. Letting Aaron have the last run, and then Aaron all of a sudden ominously talking about, we'll decide. It's been great playing at Lambeau almost in the past tense. To me, absolutely opens the door, Coach, that this will be Aaron Rodgers' last season with the Packers, that they will be trading him, that they will be moving on to Jordan Love, which is the exact timeline that the Rodgers-Favre thing happened. 3 years after drafting a guy in the first round, he still wanted to play. You were ready to move on. It's not a shocking, crazy idea, and it seems like Aaron thinks it's on the board. At least that's how I read those comments.
Well, it's shocking from this perspective is there's $99 million in dead money. So how do you get past the $99 million?
No. If you cut him, there is. If you're trading him, it's far different. Trading him, it's like $40 million, but you're paying Jordan Love nothing next year, so you could deal with it.
Okay, $40 million is still a substantial
amount.
I think it would be the greatest amount that we've seen in terms of dead money. I know we're hitting new peaks each year with that. The idea of him going to Tennessee, look, I don't think Mike would turn down a Hall of Fame quarterback, but there's also a type of player that fits into that system, and I don't know if that his personality totally fits into the system and the philosophy of the way the Titans are built. Now, could it happen? Yeah, it could happen. It's just, this whole thing is just it's difficult to swallow. If you have so much gratitude for Green Bay, why would you sign a contract like you signed? Why would we put him in such a bad position financially if you weren't planning to be there for 2 or 3 years?
Yeah, I mean,
it makes no sense.
The smart thing to say would be I'm under contract. Why are we talking about my future? I'm under contract. But I do think this about Aaron Rodgers. I think we'd all agree off the field, don't you think there's some similarities to a Phil Jackson, the great coach?
Sure.
Okay. Phil Jackson was always about stay in the moment. And I really do think Aaron Rodgers' mentality is I'm just going to stay in the moment. That's when I'm at my best versus thinking about the future. This is my speculation, but that's where I think he's at. And I think he just doesn't, philosophically, doesn't want to talk about the future or commit himself to something in the future except when there's money on the line, like the $50 million.
Well, I'm just saying, Chris, if you stay in the moment, why is he always bringing up the future? Why is he even entertaining it? Why not just say,
they ask him questions.
I'm worried about this game. This is all I'm focused on, and we want to move forward. I don't want to be a distraction.
I don't think you'll be traded because of the contract. But if someone were to want him, and maybe this late run, even though he hadn't been great, maybe a team will say, you know what?
Somebody would want him.
Okay, well, for that money, though.
Yeah.
If somebody will want him for that money, if I'm the Packers, I'd be open to trading him. Sure.
Guys, Wildes, go ahead.
No, I wouldn't trade him. He's great. It's great.
He's
player.
not great.
He should retire as a Packer.
Okay,
it's
okay, and
ridiculous.
Well,
Favre should too.
Montana,
What are we
Montana
talking
wasn't
about?
a great story. We went to the playoffs with the Chiefs.
No, but I'm saying, but he didn't retire with the Niners.
Are we also assuming that Jordan Love is to Aaron Rodgers what Aaron Rodgers was to
No,
Favre?
I'm not. But
That's a pretty.
Listen, I agree with that. But all the reporting in Green Bay is that they are picking up that option. They have seen enough from him. And the point I have been trying to make, even though this Packers winning streak to some makes the point irrelevant, not to people that can see the bigger picture, but evidently that's right. one of one on the stage. The fact is they are right now trying to juggle two things at once that are not juggleable, which is Jordan Love being on this team with Aaron Rodgers when he's no longer essentially free. Right. And if they are both on the roster next year, then guess what? The trade value of either gets chopped by 80% because the whole league knows you've got to move on from one of them. If you're going to pick up the option, the only time you can trade either one of them and have real value is this offseason. And Rodgers' comments right there makes it seem like he thinks there's a possibility that is going to happen.
That's why Lions are going to win. Aaron's old favorite receiver, Davante Adams, said he, quote, absolutely wants to return to Vegas and would prefer some input on who's throwing him the ball. Here are the notable free agent quarterbacks. I mean, Lamar's probably going to get a franchise tag, but Brew, out of these guys,
good for Mike White making that.
I threw him on there.
I mean, good for White.
Wow. I gotta be honest, Wild. That is not a very inspiring.
I threw Mike. People like Mike White.
Not just Mike White, Sam Darnold, Nick's guy, Baker. I know Nick thinks he's a Pro Bowler in the making, but.
All right, so who do you want to be the Raiders quarterback?
If I'm Davante Adams, and look, credit to Davante for being a professional. You saw him last week with Jarrett Stidham. Like, obviously, he played a great game. He didn't harbor any, personal feelings because his guy wasn't quarterbacking. And he's from Northern California. He wants to play for the Raiders, even though, now they're in Vegas. But if I'm Davante, if I'm the Raiders too, I'm thinking I want to get this guy a quarterback he's going to feel good about. He's losing Derek Carr, and the guy, that list or whatever, Tom Brady. Tom Brady is who the Raiders should go after. Obviously, you got a great receiver. They need to bring back Josh Jacobs, who'll be a free agent, but he comes back. You got a great running game. And the defense that I think has the pieces to improve.
A great tight end.
And then Josh McDaniels. Yeah. Like, the connection, obviously, Brady and McDaniels. So I think that's the landing spot, the good one for Brady, Coach.
He's going to be 46 years old, and it's not a long-term solution.
Right.
And it could be, maybe it's a Band-Aid. I think Jarrett the Javelin has your guy has a real chance of being the quarterback there in the future. And I know you want Davante to feel good about whoever's there, but Josh McDaniels needs to feel good about whoever's there because he just made a significant organizational decision to move on from a guy that was pretty good.
Do you think if the Raiders should consult with Davante Adams about their quarterback decision?
In what context? Like for the draft? For free agency?
Free agency.
Is he going to come in and evaluate his mechanics, how he deals with protections?
Maybe. What if he is? What if he is?
Okay.
the guys at PFF can do it. Why can't Davante Adams?
Cliff Kingsbury did a year kind of internship with us when we were in New England when he was the quarterback. So if Davante,
so you guys are to blame.
If Davante,
I wouldn't be claiming that one, Coach.
Claiming, I'm just saying that's what happened. He did become a head coach. So look, whatever. I'm just saying in this situation, if he wants to be an intern in the personnel department in the offseason and work on quarterbacks, great.
Here's what
I'm with Coach though on that. I ask him, hey, what do you think about? We're looking at this guy. What do you think?
Keep him in the loop.
But keep him in the loop. But nothing deeper than that.
I think you have to at least pay lip service to the idea that his input is valued and important, and he is going to have a voice, even if it's a non-voting voice. I think that he is a critically important player in your franchise that is about to be the highest paid player in the franchise now that Carr's out, that you gave up a lot for, and he's still a super high performer, and his production is obviously directly tied to the quarterback's production, who previously was his college friend. Well, I think you've got to do it delicately is my point.
You know who's the best quarterback on this list?
He's not on the list. I know
his production was pretty good last week, wasn't it?
I like Derek Carr.
Derek Carr is better than everybody.
Yeah.
And guess what? I did a little research. Has a great connection with Davante Adams. Davante Adams, love him. Will Lamar be ready for the playoffs? Next, first things first.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.